This piece begins with a musical block which plays a constructive role throughout the piece, occurring in its entirety either at its original level or transposed. This block divides into three smaller phrases, we'll call them A, B, and C, separated by long silences. A, B, and C are highly contrasting in ways that are suggestive of the title of the work. The A material is slow and introspective, a smooth, watery wave up and back down. The B material is fiery and furious, loud and agitated. The C material intensifies the fiery qualities of the B material. The A material is a series of 9 pitches representing the 5 notes of a pentatonic collection, C, D, E, G, A. All of the notes except E are heard twice. The last 6 pitches of the melody are arranged as an RI chain, alternating +2 -9 with -9 +2. D, E, G is overlapped with E, G, A. Then G, A, C, and the final link in the chain leads to the final note of the melody, A, C, D. All 4 links in the chain represent set class 025, and there are 2 more members of the same trichord type overlapped in the first 5 notes, although with different adjacent intervals. GAC and DEG occur both before and within the RI chain. So CAG at the beginning of the melody and the overlapped GDE belong to the same set type, 025, as the links of the RI chain that follows. The pentatonic collection is inversionally symmetrical on the axis D, G sharp. The last 6 notes of the melody are arranged symmetrically in pitch around an unsounded G sharp 3. Above that G sharp, we have A, D, E, balanced by G, D, C. That unsounded G sharp 3 sounds prominently in the B material that follows. The B material thus makes explicit something that was merely implied in A. And within the B material, the G sharp lies halfway between the octave Ds in the beginning and is locally embellished by grace notes B, 3 semitones above, and E sharp, 3 semitones below. The midpoint of that opening octave, D to D, is G sharp. Once the G sharp arrives, it is embellished by notes 3 semitones above and 3 semitones below. The B material contrasts in many obvious ways with the A material. It is fast, brusque, and very loud, while the A material was slow, lyrical, and very soft. But there are points of connection also that extend beyond their mutual interest in inversional symmetry around G sharp. In the first half of the B melody, we find a repeat of the last 6 notes of the A melody. The intervals are different, alternating +2, +3 with +3, +2, but they still form an RI chain involving 0 to 5 with 4 links. In the A melody, the RI chain alternates +2 and -9, producing a pentatonic collection. In the B melody, the RI chain alternates +2 and +3, but the links in the chain are still 0 to 5, and the larger collection is still the same pentatonic. Two additional forms of 025 are heard in the second half of the B material, and they too are arranged as an RI chain. This RI chain adds 4 new notes, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and B, and strongly implies a new pentatonic collection, from which only C sharp is absent. For the most part, the pentatonic collection of the A section and the first half of the B section has simply been transposed down a semitone. In these contrasting pentatonic collections, we get the most potent realization of the dramatic dichotomy that underpins the music, juxtaposing mostly white note collections with mostly sharp note collections. The A material uses only the white notes. The B material moves from mostly white notes to mostly sharp notes. The new RI chain overlaps D sharp, F sharp, G sharp with F sharp, G sharp, B, implying a new pentatonic collection, B, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp. In the C material, white note and sharp note materials are somewhat intermingled, while the focus on 025 and on chains of 025 remains. The final note of the section, G, returns as the first note of the subsequent section, which transposes this whole block up a perfect fifth. This music is not shown here. The 3 sections navigate between 2 distinct sound worlds defined by the natural hexachord, G, A, B, C, D, E, and the complementary sharp hexachord, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. The music can be parsed into 10 fragments, 5 belonging to each of the contrasting hexachords. The first 2 fragments, comprising the A section, belong to the natural hexachord. The fragments then alternate between the 2 hexachords until the final 2 fragments, which both belong to the sharp hexachord. Within each hexachord, the fragments are connected by webs of common tones, shown with solid lines, or tones that deviate by only 1 or 2 semitones from the previous fragment, shown with dotted lines. Within each hexachord, the music moves from a pentatonic collection to its T7. Visualized on the traditional circle of fifths, the entire aggregate of 12 notes is divided into 2 complementary hexachords, each of which contains 2 overlapping pentatonic scales. There is a clear programmatic meaning to this fundamental opposition of complementary hexachords, one related to the title of the piece, Intercourse of Fire and Water. The A material suggests water, cool, placid, slow in its movements. The B and C material suggest fire, light and fleet in their movements, hot and agitated. But despite their fundamental contrast, there are significant points of contact between the watery and fiery musics, especially their mutual interest in diatonic hexachords, pentatonic scales, and 0-5 trichords, either isolated or gathered into chains. And while the A music is pure water, the B and C musics witness interpenetration of natural and sharp hexachords, a musical evocation of the intercourse of fire and water.